Hello, and welcome back to Secrets Into the Mic.
Schon listen?
Ja, schon ein paar Minuten. Die ganze Sache geworden gegangen.
Okay.
Es ist
Did you know it?
alles.
Das ist so gut gesucht, das hat meine Grammar.
Wo steht das?
Es ist ein Klischee, but this is allein geschrieben in dein eigener...
Schnell, ja. Wo steht das?
What you see by others is really something by you. And you spelled you. Okay.
Okay, Army Boy. Hör auf mit der Bullshit, okay? Ich hab ein question wegen der Army.
Ja.
Jetzt, die bist du schon da, und ich nicht. Right? Wir kennen schon dich rein, der Seiger. But, halt's die, wenn ich gehe, wenn bei der 19, 18, wenn ich mal geschmiest, gedenkst du nicht, Shiva?
Mhm.
Und ich gejoint wenn. Wollte ich jetzt gekannt, wenn man so spellen, schreiben, would I have been a different person?
100%. Anecdotally, that time in 2007-ish, right? My Chavere gejoined damals. And nicht wie lucky wie me, was wie just me gave my high school diploma, a falsche, but enough with the army got accepted. So we got a surge demos in Iraq, and später in Afghanistan, so we have bodies.
Ja.
And giving great again, but Khanish Gunish, no problem. Demos something accepted applicants,
anybody
in Matadorgalite, the GD program within the Army Education Program.
In hand gaat me get niet door de GED program aan?
Nein, weil du kannst nicht joinen und dann. So, had the breite so yes, ich bekomme jetzt tuition assistance, ich in college jetzt, I'm on time off. So, but the Army.
Yeah,
so
but
the Army Education Center, the Army Education Program as a whole, constitute all kinds of stuff civilian education related. Aber hand hast du nicht die breite zu joinen und kann High School Diploma und kann GED.
So, als ich wollte jetzt daran, let's say, und ich will joinen, suchen sie mir, hast du keine ID, get the fuck out of here?
Yeah. Wie viel jeder ein was wagt dadurch ist noch Fleisch, but at some point darf der Recruiter verstehen. Darf verstehen, die bist nicht, there's nothing he can do about it. I can wave him all kinds, ich bin colorblind, no problem, mit waving this, mit waving jens. But at some point, that's to whom the basic documents, on Social Security card,
Okay, but in English, Mr. Huma GED or something.
Yeah. But as far as your language, spelling, die gaat nur nichts in Englisch den ganzen Tag, jetzt wenn die Schild, wenn die wissen schon so verstehen. That's all.
Sie müssen aber bequem werden, die Pots. What did you say? No, I said how beautiful you are.
Exactly. Da Mama's lach. Sie sagen über da Mama's lachen. Yeah. Die hypes und zu cringe, oh shit, was haben du getan? Right? But
go to your mother's lach. We're like, what? Sir, I don't think you should say it. Ich habe ein Problem, ich gedenke nicht Sachen under pressure. In de meer pressure ich hab zu gedenken, de meer gedenk ich nicht. Nou, ich weiß nicht, wie das hat zu tun mit meinem Upbringing. Sie ist mentally also.
Hand, mit Discipline, mit Kindern, mit Psychology, weiß man, als Schlug ist nicht die beste Sache. But there is still something to be said about the latest mit the different Hollywood success of the podcast. Ich hab mich gespannt Wort, weil ich weiß später how the fuck you say it.
Yeah.
But essentially, the incentive, the negative feedback, ob die Tistep ist gestern hat mal Patch, ja, hast du so zu tun. Wie viel Hand weiß man, wie viel Damage es ist für ein Kind. But in the Army, in the plot, when the bullets are flying, I don't care about your emotion, and not to mention all the veterans who came on that those and damaged. There's a reason why they're damaged, but Bashas Maza that result.
Then damage because of the military or because of war?
All the above. In help the Finn, help got problems for the Army that they never figured out during the
of
Army.
Course.
So it's a combination of so many different things. But at least for the immediate result, yeah, arbiters, the guys that you go patch, guy to the glach stoppen. But you're not thinking about the long term result of that.
Noch du nimmst weg der Patch. Geht es weiter tun.
Yeah,
technically.
But hand weiß man, to bessere Wegen, to positive feedback, to do positive reinforcement. There's different ways to enforce good behavior. But in the Army, if you need an end result now,
List that anfallen in the line.
Yeah. So, wie viel die guys vergessen under pressure, and it exacerbates wie mehr pressure. So, die like mehr pressure, so gedenken, vergesst mehr. At some point, that cracks. And at some point, Chapsi, I'm done doing push-ups. And I'm also done, jeder tet push-ups mit dich zusammen. So their peer pressure, why is there collective punishment? At some point feels okay, somehow, bin ich der common denominator, was jeder Move mit dit push-ups, I was the one who initiated it because I'm dumb or I'm stupid or I'm deliberately,
Not
I'm trying
deliberately.
to-
Not talking about deliberately.
But again, I'm out of step for whatever reason. At some point, it clicks. And that's when ze zoeken, we zijn brechtig, ze zijn bondig terug. Ik zeg het dezelfde. Ik ben Pieter zo grab, ik nu een demels, right? But the mentality, the emotion that goes into the immediate result is when ze gebrachen and you respond in
Training.
your sleep.
Ja,
in
ja,
your
in
sleep.
training. I get it.
So voor die zoeks, ik ken niet wie meer de guys mag like pressure als meer ga je naturally rebellen en niet gedenken, it's gonna crack and it's gonna snap into place at some point.
Ich habe gewatcht a Video, wie, I guess einer bedreift a truck, a größer military truck, also wie 16 wheels, weißt du, da riesige, ich habe nicht mal Machthazer auf Räder. In het aufgebackt, in geht mal back ran in de andere truck. In de I guess whoever is in charge, hij gaat keules. Get the fuck out of here, get the fuck out. En get dat druk de button.
Gepost somewhere, ja, ik heb het gezien.
Ik heb dat les op de
Ja.
button. So, mijn kop is doorgegangen. Wenn ich bin der Driver, und dann ga ich heran, wo's kann in ze met de satt met ja, ich bin a satt met wo's kann tun? Das kommt dran erst in mein Kopf. Wo's kann tacken as a, I guess as a trainee, yeah, back heran na truck. Like, what's the
dirty secret is,
what's the consequences?
well, consequences is nothing crazy.
Legally.
Unless
Gered op de...
there's no legal consequences. It's an immediate, there's different kinds of punishments in the military. The legal consequence that you're talking about, UCMJ, which is a Uniform Code of Military Justice, which is basically my constitution, my code of law, because it's not a democracy in the military.
Yeah, obviously.
So as much as the cliche is, you fight for everyone's democracy and to defend the Constitution, within that organization, it's not a democracy. Ich kann nicht sagen von my commander, fuck you, right? No, literally, I can't say that. I can say it in jest, but
I wouldn't want you to say it as a soldier.
But insubordination is a legitimate thing. Ich kenne nicht jeder eine, was ist in dein life, but the gleibe sind du keiner in dein life that you're going to get punished for insubordination. Die mir sind intergeteinigt inter einer. So even if da hast a boss, er tut dein paycheck, so you haven't, it's a give and take, right?
Ja.
Plane, weil ich gesagt jump, you just got to do how high. Die hast das nicht in dein life. Most people don't have that. Unless you're an actual slave, unless or in today's days you're enslaved to your job at Amazon, where they missed ending in that quota. That's getting patient on a bottle within a minute, but
a million square feet.
But most people have
warehouse.
that. Yeah, and most people have that democratic right, the freedom of tell someone to fuck off, even if it's a cop, right? You don't have to. That's just not integrating into the fucking cop, right?
Ja.
You can legally, I can go to prison.
Okay, so macht sense. But in this story we are backed off. Echt nicht du.
So this is the highest level of punishment. There's immediate
Gaat gleich ran clean in the toilet.
Yeah, on the spot correction. On the spot correction.
Wer clean the toilet stamma so?
In some janitorial company was einer mag Geld of the government, weil Kind clean the toilet by the soldiers' barracks. Nein. So I be do a private, this guy there.
$16 trillion for the army, we can strive man so clean the toilet, huh?
Okay, let's make something very clear. This is the last time you're going to talk about the $750 billion that goes towards the military, because get the shit on a man paycheck. Feel free to Google.
Epis paycheck him to
Feel free to Google. Yeah, but feel free to Google military pay chart. Okay? In the Kansas City business 1940 to 1930, we hebben te tun voor troops. Vader niet getoold. Maar te geven etwas unzutun, maar te geven wie te schluffen, en een lach, en een
Okay, so macht sense.
En maar te geven te essen. Maar toen te tun voor dat ook in World War II is.
Nog maar, die fights for the country, so die fights for dir.
Oh, no, I'm not arguing meer. Sure, ik ga nemen meer. But when we read van $750 billion for the DOD, die geld kiept dus mij. I'm in the wrong line of business, and I'm trying to get a chunk of that money.
Ja, obviously. In the military macht man nicht kein Geld. When the enlist in the army is not about money.
No.
But it's funny. But it's funny. It's not safety net.
I'm never getting evicted.
Ich weiß nicht, is safety net versus a certain lifestyle that you get into. In deze wo ze kind mit.
This is the cream of the top.
This is geworden deployed. Was heißt, wenn ich wohne in a house, werde ich deployed.
That's the icing on the top. You have certain advantages. Mein Gym kost mich nicht kein Geld. Ich ging an den Gym 24/7, kostet
Wieso sie kickt aus, darf nicht kosten. Ich mache ab Jokes. Die weiß, dass ich bin scharf auf die Sachen. I'm just messing around. Yeah, sure.
Yeah. You want to tell the story of wie die you got all of my business about quitting smoking before the army.
Ich wollte das noch jetzt sagen.
7 years later, I'm still smoking.
Yeah, but it's not good for you.
No, I never argued that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just...
In a nutshell, you join the army. The Chassidische guy joined the army. I got an army. And I smoked. I smoked toen dat de 14 uur, dat kakker. En wie gezegd, met die had 2 geduschen. Just quit smoking.
Yeah,
I can't quit them because I'm a fucking addict.
yeah, but you're going to get a heart attack.
Yeah.
Die bist lucky dat die
guess what?
survived.
Let me put it to you this way. I'm not athletic, right? Maybe I am, but ik heb kein niet
Bist nicht kan athletic.
Ja. Maar ik is gegroomd te zijn athletic.
Ich weiß, je gaat LeBron James in die.
Yeah. And again, I can check my gene, but even if I do have the athletic gene, I'm not athletic. En ga je erop en je speelt bully, okay? But that's all it was.
Meer
I
weer
was
voorbij
26
is.
when I joined, and I was a fat fuck, okay?
Bist der heavy set guy. Wenn ich meine sagen, bist nicht groß.
Relative.
Bist
Yeah.
wenn ich sehe, du bist nicht kein Shrimp.
Yeah.
So, die bist da big dude. You know what I'm saying?
So, I surprised myself that the one strong point was ich hab endurance. I'm not explosive. I can't sprinten. I can't sprinten hin zurück. Because I'm heavy set.
Ja.
Ich hab endurance. Ich hab nechten overgesigned for an 18.6 ruck march. 25 pounds on my back. 18.6 miles. I've never done that. Okay.
Holy shit.
The requirement annually was the soldiers is a 12-mile ruck march. That's 35 pounds on your back for 12 miles within 3 hours. So it's a 50-minute mile. It's doable. It's doable for anybody.
15-minute mile going.
You're going. But think about it. Bist nicht in sneakers. Bist nicht in running shoes. Du bist in boots and non-uniform. So
Yeah,
it's a
but
little
if you
challenging.
but ich ga jetzt irgendwann laufen. I hate running. Ich ga keinmal nicht lieb gehabt laufen. Ich ga fahren laufen. But ich ga jetzt gehen auf ein Overnight Hike. 2 weekends von jetzt. So ich darf mich ein bisschen I'm out of shape. So no, I'm out of shape as in ich lauf einmal, ich fühle wie ich peige. I hate it.
So let me step back a second.
Oh, ich wollte etwas sagen. My point is, als wenn man da läuft in 15, rauf Menschen, man läuft, man kommt tun, in 9 minutes a mile, 10 minutes a mile. A Kliege runner, eine wie mir, you take 15 minutes and you slow down.
You pace yourself.
Yeah. You pace yourself with a 15-minute mile. Also, wie zeg ik, zwischen die past 9 minutes or 15 minutes, you just have to pass.
Correct, but depending on the grading scale, depending on what kind of run you have, what kind of challenge you have, there's passing, and then there's incentives for scoring higher. So it is on a grading scale. But my first mile ever, ich bin nicht athletic, ich habe nicht gespielt in high school, you know, none of that, okay? And was ich gewesen mein Diet? Ich bin eibig gewesen dehydrated. Ich habe nur gewohnt geworden, was meint sein hydrated once you join the army. In strikt mit Cola. And drink mit all kinds of orange juice.
Können wir trinken nicht. Und wenn man trinkt schon ja.
Drink mit nicht kein Wasser.
Ja.
Okay? Yeah, you need electrolytes. You need all kinds of different... Wisst ihr the whole nutrition and dietary supplements? But Wasser is the basic. With the dasaran in a certain amount. Even resisting coil in this with air conditioning, you're not burning any calories. You're not burning much calories. That's the alles hydrating non-body. And... you're not going to pass out because you're not exerting yourself, but you still need a certain amount. So yeah, die kan ganz van you and dehydrated and never pass out, but you're still dehydrated and you're unhealthy. Back to my point about being athletic.
Yeah.
Walked into the recruiter's office and said, you don't have to convince me. That's mich nicht convinced. And the guys mich gave you know, peace and varamses. Tell me where to sign. Okay. I have to schmissen. And what is the physical requirement? It's 2 minutes of push-ups, 2 minutes of sit-ups, and a 2-mile run within a certain amount, depending on your age, depending male and female. Okay. So, Haibun Satinapes, wie kennst du? Kenn ich gut nicht. I'm going to do my first run. I'm living upstate, right?
Ja, bis gehen damals upstate.
In South Fallsburg, on the 42. Ich ga laufen a mile. Ich ga laufen 2 mile, you know? I'm going to run, but first a mile. Half a mile down the road, half a mile back. I was in a pair of jeans with sneakers, not knowing that I was flat-footed. So I could the shiny sheikh of Amazon sneakers, but it wasn't a good, it wasn't a running shoe. It was a flat shoe. It was a flat Puma shoe. It wasn't even meant for running. It was just a sneaker, not a running shoe. With a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. In alles in tasch, my bersel in tasch, my cell phone, and my cigarettes.
Ayid gaat nicht raus in der Hamuna Bersel.
Ich zinn nun GPS. Ich habe about 0.7, 0.8 of a mile. I was like, fuck this shit. And I went a cigarette and I finished the mile with a cigarette in my hand. I said, I can't do it. I was at 12:30 a mile.
The psychological shit.
Okay. I am running on a good day. I max my run, which is 13, for my age, is 13:18 a 2 mile. All right.
Okay.
That is maxing. I don't have to max to pass. So this video goes to pass is around. I've checked the grading scale because I never just try to pass. It's around 16, 17, 18 minutes a mile. I'm sorry, a 2 miler. And a good day, wenn ich bin fit and should be jetzt, I run it in 13:30, 14 minutes. On a bad day, 14:30.
Die gehst nicht auf. Die bist ein Fighter. So, ich bin ein Aufgeber.
That's endurance. Von dem, die kannst mich beaten in a sprint, but ich kann gehen 18.6 miles Shabbos.
Ja.
Und kein Schwimmtraining. Ich habe gesagt Nächten. 18.6 miles,
Wann ist
it's
das?
30 kilometers. Shabbos in der Früh.
Wie man geht raus in Base und man just wacht?
Now, so because of NATO, because in some military training alliances with other countries, ich habe jetzt the German badge of my uniform. Basically, oh yeah, boy. Yeah.
What a segue. What a segue. What a fucking segue.
That was unintentional, but yes, what
That's
a
a good
segue.
segue.
Ich habe getroffen in unser clothing and sales. We call the military clothing and sales. Ich kaufe uniforms, any badges, was ich das zielleigen. Anything that replacing, that fixing my uniform, anything. Habe ich the military store on the military base, military and clothing and sales. And so I have all kinds of different medals and badges overseas. Like, ich habe gesehen, the Israeli parachute badge. So if you're a Marine that happens to train overseas with the Israelis and you happen to jump with them,
Because does that badge.
you can earn that badge, and this is authorized within the regulation. There's a regulation. Was sto a loch auf jede Sach.
Ja, ja.
Jede fucking Sach, wie man darf kacken, wie man darf gehen, was man darf suchen, wie man darf kommen, was man mag nicht stehen. Was die Trucks, everything is regulated. So wo die like that uniform is auch regulated. Wieso, wenn die kennst nicht, und wieso man like this, wie man like this. When they watch that movie and there's stamp do a fucking patches all over the place, it's cringeworthy because god damn it, all you have to do is just read a kleine little
Nor
blurb.
soldiers haben die Problem bei Movies.
Ja,
Because ich trachte es, jede Mal ich sehe Soldiers, trachte, okay, mich kann man ausfappen. Sie die Menschen verstehen mit falsche, sie gaben seine Brüder.
Normal, ja.
So, sie haben ein Soldier zu nehmen einen, und er sagt ihm, das darf gehen der Rechte, und das gekannt sehen, dass der Soldier weiß exactly.
In seinem Schluff kann das wissen,
Ja.
because this is from day one, weiß er mit
So wie jeder Bucher weiß,
Also, ich bin wirklich, der rechte Seite, der Hit, ja?
Exactly.
Macht nicht der Tours in der Früh, right?
einmal, sie kennen seine Brüder, Vetters, Cousin, was er gemacht hat, was jeder gelacht von.
Jeder weiß.
Wir nehmen den Schad kein Kinder.
So, I earned the German badge. Essentially, you have to go through certain criteria, but it's approved within the army, within the military,
Was
within
it
the
in
United
Germany?
States. No. But because I've been in West Point, Hosta the German, it's a college essentially, it's an academy. Hosta from Brazil, Hosta from Germany, has different professors that teach different military things, other language, other culture, from other foreign. You can major in Russian, you can major in Chinese. You can
Wo die
major,
willst.
yeah. So the has professors, military professors from other other officers from other countries. So the German liaison essentially, zij haben the authority to administer the test, or the multiple step test. So can earn an Zaire badge, the German proficiency.
So bis
badge.
dorthin, basically so wie a degree, bis dorthin an a German jumping, nicht jumping.
So it's a marksmanship test of rifle and pistol, gemeenschap or pistol, a rock march based off kilometers. So I think speelt sinds je a full 12. So
The rucksack was I geben der.
yeah,
Is a dance.
it's geissued.
Ich verstehe, nein, I get it, but it's issue to you from the beginning, right?
Yeah.
There's a down bag.
Mhm.
Jetzt, wenn die läuft, sie measuren, wo liegt in der Bag? Just a general.
So wenn sich wo die Tests fahren. So sag mal du a packing list. In the back, the
Wo die
packing list.
misnehmen.
The packing list is based off of combat. When ich actually go on a patrol.
Nein, ich rede jetzt von, okay, wenn die Geist abwischen in der Patrol, müsste ich nehmen an Gun
So
mit einer Sachen.
when we train, like we fight. So it machen sicher, also ich habe mein Bag, derselbe Pudersachen, derselbe ammunition, derselbe Wasser, genick, to survive however long we have to be out there. So we train like we fight. So it says on a packing list based on wo die das mitnehmen. And sometimes it's not even weight. Sometimes like, hey, they said I like in that bag, no matter how much it weighs. And usually it's less than the poundage wie du was es getting based off of pound. Or it says pounds, packst du an, wo du das dann anpacken, and you get better at it. Wieso, wenn einer geht camping, wenn einer geht hiking, wieso packt das am Bag?
Ja.
There's a way, it can sit on Exactly. So there's a weight, lightweight at the bottom, heavyweight at the top, so it's not the shoulders, whatever. And you learn that as you go along, you figure it out. Because the private, at Abihum blisters, Abihum Zarik, and fight him because he hasn't figured it out. And you'll figure it out after doing this enough.
This is pain with Medav Dargan. That's like...
So people who don't like distance, this is painful. What the fuck here? Ich wak. Ich halte rein wakken, endlessly. Wie wakker? Ich wakken schon eigentlich. It's not an actual patrol. You need to complete 18.6 miles. Or a 12-mile rock march.
Wie wakst du? Yes,
Plain. Me wak.
Nee. Oké. Die kimst... Wie deed training? Die guy staan maar voor 18-mile rock. Deze de idea?
It's organized.
Die slofst, Iber, vandaag?
No. This is just an event, just to complete the rock march. It's just a rock march for the sake of rock march.
Oh, wow, okay.
So I mentioned the German because this is a Norwegian proficiency thing. So the German has the marksmanship, the has the rock march, you have a water survival. This dude in uniform, guys sit on the pool and I swim in the pool laps, and that's the kind of Osteen, and I almost drowned.
I hate water.
Because I didn't train for any of that. But without ich ken nicht auf, I'll just do it. Nog do a physical fitness, wie das sprinten, that's the halten, nicht pull up, but you pull yourself up on a bar, and that's the halten for X number of seconds. And it seems easy. I ga playing halten. No, after 30 seconds, the height to trembling.
Yeah.
So there's gold, silver, and bronze, and I only got silver because I can't halten. So it's a number scale, and I just getting numbers for the gold.
So much silver.
And I can always redo it at some point, but gold, silver, I'm happy with that without any training. I said yes. I raised my hand and said, fuck it, I'm going to do it. Next,
okay, but you stop push it.
Yeah. So Nechten, I never knew about this Norwegian badge. Norwegian badge is simply rock marching. That's all it is. So I gave them that a badge because you completed 13 kilometers, 18.6 miles. If you finish it once...
Does get the Geppes credit when the guys see the mess hall?
It looks pretty. That's all it is. It doesn't get any credit within promotion or the other advancements in the U.S. military. It's just it's nice. It sits on your uniform. It looks pretty. Yeah, and again, if I have jump wings from Germany, if I have jump wings from France, from Israel, it's good, and it shows that you did more training. You put an effort in. So for Einekito Direct, the promotion, maybe it doesn't count for. It's an intangible kind of thing. Oh, Gezee was here to I feel it counts as an actual. You know,
we dedicated.
Yeah.
Is. Ich wollte nicht aufgehen nehmen die classes. Jetzt auf.
But you need opportunities. You have a day job ook, but you just need to go. So you can't just be going to the alamina trainings. I never went to airborne school. I want to go to airborne school. I want to get my jump wings, right? I never had an opportunity to go because I'm not in an airborne unit. So for those going to airborne school, it's only if you have an opportunity to go, or
what's done on these? The Merlans. Yeah. Videos.
For them, my vab nicht to go into airborne school. That's the only reason.
Airborne school is terrible.
Yeah, but you can be a five. Wenn du bist Pogue, wenn du bist einer, bist nicht kein paratrooper, bist nicht in einer Unit, was das ist. You only went to the school to earn the badge, but you go back to your regular unit. It's called 5 and something. You have 5 jumps during school, and then you never jump again because
they have it the paratroopers a ganzen Tag, huh?
No, it's once a month you have to jump to keep your jump status. It's once a month. But
in training, redder.
I don't think. When it is deployed and your mission doesn't require jumping, they waive it. That's not jumping either, because how the fuck are you going to jump in Afghanistan? Right?
So what do you do? What do you do in Afghanistan if you're in a paratrooper group?
In today's kind of unconventional war, jeder tut jedem's job. Ich meine, es ist sehr schwer, like, the Navy SEALs team Nordays, the regular Army tut Nordays. Jeder tut jede Sache gemacht, because Navy SEALs and then basically water, buds and all that shit, right? Water, like underwater demolition and shit like that. What are they doing in Afghanistan? Wasser in Afghanistan, what the fuck? Ze doen berg, ze koud, ze snijdt in de winter oven, en nog een desert.
Yeah, so.
But it's all conflict. Jeder tut jedem's job. And again, there is still symmetry to it. This is nog do a reason behind it, all that.
Yeah, it's like
kind of the Marines. What do the Marines do? They're an amphibious. They're not ground troops. They're from Wasser. When the storms normally, that's the biggest joke since Hackman of the Marines. The biggest amphibious assault, which is basically from water onto shore. That's the Marines' purpose. The Marines and the infantry, then the ground troops for the Navy, right?
So basically, zij zijn in the zipper between the Wasser and the ground.
Yeah. But D-Day, the biggest amphibious assault in history of the United States, or the history of the world, who was it? It wasn't the Marines. It was the Army.
Tegen we zijn gewoon naar Ruga Mo dorten, bij D-Day.
Unreal. ist
Was das darf getan?
wenn man free gerät von wenn ich watch a military movie, that 25-minute sequence, the opening scene from Saving Private Ryan is real. That shit's fucking real.
Ich habe schon gewacht, was sag Videos wegen D-Day. Die haben mal remote Menschen immer geschickt. Warum hat man nicht gecarpetbomb in a ganze beach?
Because yeah.
I'm talking about...
But then giving bunk hunker down with the machine gun nests. No, it wasn't... Back in the day, giving linear warfare. Ich stehe, du stehst dort und ich schieß mit meinem Musket, ich schieß mit meiner Spieße, mit shit. In the front line, you were only there to hold the line, to die and hold the line until reinforcement came. My Vap's vetter, he didn't serve many. He joined the army in the 80s, so after Vietnam, so he wasn't in Vietnam, and it was a Cold War. He was stationed in Germany between the West and the East, gegen the Russen, and they knew their life expectancy was 18 minutes because his purpose there was to take the incoming fire if the Russians would attack, and he would die. They knew that.
No issue.
For reinforcement.
But when they came to Normandy, right, of D-Day,
yeah,
in Matros geschickt, they schifflich mit the soldiers inside.
Yeah.
Wie jede Game fängt sich an.
Yeah.
Habe gespielt das auch D-Day Games. Da fahren immer laufen, Menschen, I feel in the game, Menschen trasken on right and left. Wo hat man nicht die Planes aber gecarpetbombt, the ganze beach?
So in planning, I'm never in military planning meetings because I'm a middle grade sergeant. You know, I'm a manager. I'm not a boss, right?
No, but wie weit bist du von Gonisch? Von etwas?
That's von etwas. Ich bin schon etwas. You know, I'm an NCO. I'm a non-commissioned officer. I'm a sergeant. Ich habe Menschen inter mir. But I'm a middle management, essentially. Consider it middle management. But I'm never in higher up in the Pentagon meetings, general officers and whatnot. When you plan a mission.
Potential dort nun zu kommen? Nicht die willst. Ich frage potential. Like, what's the... A certain age, you age out of certain things. So I never joined when it is... Alle große general officers, with they joined from high school. Ja, family.
In joined out of high school, so they had an advantage.
So zij riefen zijn tata, yes sir.
Yeah. But even if it's not in the family, if you joined out of high school, hast du genickt Saat, bis die weet, even das Geld. So it's hard for me to get there, even if I want to.
In is just a question. Let's say someone joins in... He excels. He doesn't move up the ranks.
Yes, but you...
The
max. It's hard to. Finish as do a law. 9D kennst nicht, Baldi hast nicht. I'm in the medical field, right? I'm a medic. I'm an army medic. So combat medic, whatever you want to consider it.
Medic is medic.
Yeah, but ob ich gewollt sein fast tracked. Wollte gedaan zijn infantry, wollte gedaan zijn field artillery, wollte gedaan zijn epics was is the main point. The main point of the military is to fight wars, not finance, not the cook, not the mechanic. No, all of these actions is to support the warfighter. People. The actual infantry, the private infantryman was held the gun is sheathed. He is the most important person. If you have that job. And you go, wer is the general, wer sind the highest generals, who is the sergeant major of the army, who is the chief of staff? He's always going to be someone who was within that branch, within, not military branch, but within the army's, welche job het gehad. En dan is een cook, en hij weet hecher en hecher en hecher, kennen ze aan de hechtste cook.
Okay.
Hij gaat niet run in the army.
Ja, but hij run de hechtste cook.
Fine.
You get what I'm saying.
Hij
had control of alle commanders.
That's right. But wie hoog ken ik gaan? Ik ken niet weer de sergeant major of the army. Ik ken niet weer de chief of staff. Not even age because of I'm a medic. I feel like I'm an officer and I'm a doctor. It's like they put me through medical school, any kind of other medical training that I'm going to grow in rank. I'm going to max out. The highest medical officer was the MEDCOM, Medical Command General Officer, 3-star general. That's the highest you can go if I manage to become an officer and become a doctor. If so many ifs. Aber bis da plain infantry officer was Kim Taros from West Point or something. It's just a simple old infantry officer. You have that opportunity. If everything falls into place, you have opportunities, and you went through Ranger School and you did a lot of things. You took advantage of many opportunities. What happens when family comes around? Oh, you didn't want family to get involved in your life, but you know the Hari down the block, or the Midland unit, or the Nish, or the Zocher, doesn't matter. It's a new army now, so it's
that part doesn't bother me. If two essential adults
Kids get in the way.
Yes.
I asked to be reassigned to West Point because I can't mich deploying from that unit. The unit is a non-deploying unit. I have a job, do within the United States, right? Why did I do it? Because my son has to go through high school. Ich will to stabilization.
Ja, dat is gemist daar aankwijt. So you have to give up certain things.
The army gegeven stabilization. Ik ga mich wegkriegen van that unit. En ik ga mich deployen because my family comes first. If I wanted to grow in rank, if I want to have more opportunities, but gemist overgeben something,
you for what I want. You have to go and do and machen.
So, wie weit kann ich gehen? Nicht viel weit. Und wie weit will gehen? Auch nicht, because ich habe so viele andere Sachen that's going on in my life.
Do you ever want to go out of the army? Like retire? Ich weiß nicht, wie das
20 years.
You want to do yours 20?
Yeah. 20 years. Ich retire when I'm 46. I earn my retirement check immediately.
Yeah, you definitely earned it.
That's the plan.
Now, when
the plan is me and the wife kicking it on the beach with umbrella drinks. That's the way I phrase it.
Listen,
in my mid-40s.
You're definitely going down there as in 40, 46? 46?
Yeah, we joined when I'm 26.
26. So when I joined by the 18 is about 38.
Yeah. At 38, so retirement age, it's only a few select federal jobs for the kids retired immediately. In back down retirement check glach. Usually,
you have to wait till 60.
Yeah, whatever
68.
Whatever the retirement age is. In the military, as soon as you retire, you get your whatever percentage, whatever it is, whatever the retirement is. By Kim says glach. So yeah, at 38, kannst du unheim finish a 20-year career doing whatever. In lassen wir noch 20 Jahre bis to 58. Nicht nur hast du 2 retirements, für die letzten 20 Jahre schon reingecashed dein erste retirement.
Wow. Well, I'm just trying to wrap my head around it. Bis 38 years old. Yeah. Again, what's the chances as the... Okay.
Wie viele Menschen haben unser Leben at 38?
Wenn man sucht retirement für a 38-year-old, what's the geld?
Pay? It's 50% of your final income. So rank is pay grade is based off of rank.
Usually noch 20 Jahre.
20 Jahre bist dann E7, E8, sometimes even E9. Other bist dann officer 03, 04, 05. No, if you're 20-year officer.
Well, if einer is dort 20 Jahre, he's doing classes, he's moving up.
Yeah.
But so around
50% fin down final pay grade.
What is regular pay in the end of you?
Like I said, military pay grade. It's schwer mal zu sagen. Google it. Just military pay chart and präglich mal zu sagen, wie viel ich bezahlt. It's not a secret.
No, not you personally. Anybody. I'm saying somebody 20 years down the line, dann letzte paycheck. Dann letzte pay for the year.
It varies so much. Du hast ich bin jetzt an E5 promotable. Within the next 6 months, I werden promoted to E6. Okay?
Einer der E6, die kommt zu der E6 oder einer fällt darauf von der E6?
For millions and millions of people. So do HRC, the human resources, spielt their numbers all the time. Ich bin schon promotable, meaning ich bin schon Rui is the right word?
Ja.
Rui zu werden promoted schon ein Jahr halb. But ich darf warten für das Slot.
So the Heffernan.
Yeah, so ich gewartet letzte Woche bei Kim an invite to the school, was ich darf gehen fahrig bei Kim the next grade. And once you get the grade, you promote. So
was geschehen, wenn die wirst promoted? Dann like lass mal sagen, wie bist du jetzt? E5, die guys see E6.
Yeah.
Wenn die guys finden E5, die bist promotable, guys are class, they teaching the rappers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leadership. So they teach you, it's a leadership school.
Between E5 to E6 darf man is dat een grote difference?
There's an expectation of a certain responsibility with the guys to them as an E6 meer wie an E5.
No Muschel. Is het schwer te zoeken naar Muschel?
It's niet schwer because
Vind mentions, het zijn mentions?
Yeah, it always comes back to the basic, like I said, infantryman, the actual fighter, the actual guy whose sole purpose is to put bullets downrange, to shoot and kill the enemy, right? Alles in the army is good. The formation of the army is based off of Jens. A brand new private that joined the army, E1 private, yeah? What is it as a rifleman? He had a rifle, and all his responsibility is, the team was ma heistem. Darf nicht trachten allein, darf nicht wissen, darf gut nicht stehen, darf nur team was ma heistem. The erste rank, so it is part of a team of a rifleman. Let's consider it a bunch of privates. A rifleman, a grenadier, had ook not a rifle, but of his rifle is attached a grenade launcher. The grenadier.
Hoe bekend is een shader?
Because
big money or the
no, but this is the
structure.
makeup. This is the makeup. This is basic warfighter functions. This is basic shit. I forget the term. in battle.
Ah, so du am Methods in the Madness.
Methods in the Madness. Hast du Rifleman? Ich bin nicht kein Infantryman, so ich kenne nicht den Term. Hast du Rifleman, hast du Grenadier, und du hast du Sawgunner. Sawgunner hat a machine gun, with the bullets is dieselbe size wie a rifle, but it's a machine gun.
Fed belt.
Yeah.
Belt fed.
This is belt fed, right?
Yeah.
But it's not a bigger machine gun, a 50 cal that a 240 Bravo versus a 7.62. It's dieselbe size bullets wie a regular rifle.
Just a sache van mo.
Yeah.
Immer schießt beërig.
No, because they still have to qualify at the range. That's Ken she's
Ja,
yeah,
but
it's not a precision rifle. Yeah.
Dorten.
Yeah.
You get that point
That's
with the finger.
Yeah, that again,
That's not
it's
the groove.
impossible to Ken and she's and pinpoint a target and
Of
machine gun.
course.
And so the hast they dry hast the Sawgunner. Saw stands for squad automatic weapon. It's a 249. That's the nomenclature of the weapon. Hast a grenadier, the rifleman, right?
Yeah.
And hast in the hast a team leader. Team leader is showing the E4, the E5, depending.
Oh, so
the
the E45 kim cirka upp. Nicht harro, but I'm saying like he...
It is responsible. This is the first level of leadership. Is the sergeant? Is the E5 sergeant?
In
It
wie
is
lang door
responsible.
deze... The reason ich frage this is because sometimes in training kann man sehen, also wie die bist der Leader. Ja, schreit ihm, you're the leader, and you have... Geht durch dezelfde training at the same time, oder kommt circa up von E4 zurück zur Training?
Na, aber is auch einmal gewinnt die E1, so das schon getan. So wenn kommt zu E5, weißt du schon, wo die E1 darf gehen, und kann anteilen.
So macht noch einmal lieber Basic Training.
Ja, aber geht nicht durch das Training. Administert das Training.
Geht durch eine andere Mean Training für ihn.
Das wenn die School was severe nach E5, was man lernt aus?
Nein. My question is also, ich watch das auch mal military training. Ich weiß nicht exactly wie ich watch. Like, welche Section ich watch. Aber man sieht, wie man schreit und einer, aber wie die bist der Leader, die kackst du.
Ja. So this is the...
Das ist ein Leader gemacht worden, wer schaamt.
Ob the teams kacked doen, is a zijn fault, because gedacht aantaan voor de prijs was
is aber zusammen mit dem, nur the trainer decided that is a shining light, so ich gehe ihm geben die responsibility, oder
so there is cross-train, so this, essentially,
you understand my question?
Yeah, all we do in the army is train future leaders. Because ich ga nooit doen voor 20 jaar, yeah? At some point, einige davon in mijn plaats, right? So me as a leader, it's my responsibility, nicht nur aan te taan voor de prijs bewust te zien, en trainen of van hem, als zal kennen, als guide eindelijk werden, was ich bin, yeah? So, if he messes up, it looks bad on me. Because nicht darf ich ihm sagen, schieß du. Ich ga ihm, wie viele darf nicht wissen, von wo schießt dort, ga ich ihm also willen trainen, because at some point, I have to groom him, I have to train him.
With the logic also.
To be a potential sergeant himself. Otherwise, I failed him, because as soon as he comes, with time and service, he had genickt gesagt, okay, lass mal sehen, werden the next sergeant, and I got for the board, and I failed.
It reflects on you, yeah.
I failed. So wenn einer schreit Emu, wenn der größte Trainer schreit for the team leader, the team gefällt schreit Emu, and you should know better now, because ich kann nicht going wrong. They're probably
that I understand. I understand why he screams at him. I get it. They're the team leader.
Mm-hmm.
But my question is, see, wenn man nennt diese 6 Menschen, man macht so ein Team, und man sagt ihm, die hast Potential, so ich mach dir der Leader für du, oder ist schon ein...
It is the team leader, so wenn es der Guy zu Lunch, sie ist ein Guy nicht, I get the leader guy zusammen sein.
No, but you understand what I'm... Ich fühle, wie die verstehst my question.
No.
Wenn ich komme ran in the army, right?
Ja.
Ich train mich. Noch dem wachse ich. Noch dem kann ich werden ein aggressere Trainee, right? Ich kann werden... Noch dem...
I'm listening.
No, I'm trying to see, liking the question halfway.
No, I'm listening.
Wenn die bis... Ich watch auch mit Training, ich heiße besungen. Ich watch auch mit Trainings. Sie machen ein Training, sie gehen nach raus, sie schleppen Lags, ja, sie tun the whatever training they have to do. In sie kacken nun, schreit ein Mensch, ja? Yeah. Der Teamleader. Der Teamleader durchgegangen, mal gespritzt Wasser auf ihm, getan alles, but gewinnt der Teamleader.
Okay, ich verstehe, wie du sagst. In basic training, lass mal sagen, in basic training, the einzigste active duty in basic training is the drill sergeant, right?
Yeah.
Jeder eine, the rest of them is a trainee. So man gave an opportunity to be in a leadership role.
Oh, okay. I got you.
Now, for them to do collective punishment, because of the trainee kaak doen, and not a fucking trainee. I darf nicht wissen mehr, right? But in order, again, negative feedback and all that, so discipline, and did a bunch of push-ups. And
so this might sagen, is eine kommt daran, Geht zu Basic Training. In excelt, lass mal sagen, hat gute Communication.
Ja.
Macht gute Team. Automatically geht man ihm suggesten, und geht
No. And the reason why I say ja and nein, but the reason why I say no is because when I never say that in basic training, right? He was the best in his class, right? I came to into the real army, right? I came to that unit, private snuffy, right? And I was like, hey, Sergeant, the best part of this team. Sergeant, you know, in basic training, I was the honor grad. I was the distinguished. Fuck out of here. This is the real army. Nobody gives a shit with this getting in basic training because this is the real.
Yeah, but that shows though as a hot get communication skill.
Fuck.
No, I understand. Obviously,
It
Nog
means-
maar als
it means
een pot
absolute
bij
nothing.
deze team.
Yeah, it means
Dit is gooi. It's a goy. Can you I'm getting the best now, please.
of that record, of course, but
Join the fucking army. Man up.
infantrymen gaat iedereen gaat door 10 wochen basic training. After you're done with basic training, you follow on. Ik ben gegaan from Fort Sill to Fort Sam Houston for the medic training. Once you graduate,
This your
basic
next.
training.
This your the
The
next.
infantrymen technically graduate 10 wochen, maar blaft in dezelfde plaats, in dezelfde unit, en dan eindigt nog een paar wochen van infantry fighting.
Also wie die finish
additional.
medic, finish their.
But that even is OSUT, one station unit training, because essentially the graduation is for the family essentially. It's nicht real because die blaft in dezelfde plaats, die blaft in dezelfde mensen, die blaft in dezelfde drill sergeant, and die hassen meer zich te leren because basic training is essentially training every soldier to be that fighter.
Je gaat
A condensed version of Zaan the infantryman because every soldier is a fighter before his job.
You need to break them. You need to break people.
Yeah, so but this is everyone across the board. After that, top man. So when I zoek met Jessica Lynch, look it up after the fact. Jessica Lynch was I think she was a trucker or logistics, or a fueler, whatever she was. And it's a famous story in Afghanistan, in Iraq during the invasion, the initial invasion. And her convoy took a wrong turn. And aangevoerd mitten stoot. Got ambushed, right? And she got kidnapped. And basically the Rangers and the SEALs get out of it. Long story. Half of it is true, half of it is not. The military wants a hero.
PR.
But that story aside, what actually happened? The weapons jammed. Why did the weapons jam? For many reasons. One, they were in the desert, so that halten weapons maintenance is one of the core things was a fight of halten 19. Weapons maintenance, right?
Yeah, oil, clean them.
The alumina Sachen, maintenance is that important. Schluffen is important, but to do our list, there's a list of what is made important. Weapons maintenance is one of the highest priorities because you always have to be ready to fight.
Makes sense.
And if you don't clean your weapon after you use it, why do weapons jam? Because it's filled with carbon, it's filled with garbage. And especially when it's in the desert, during the Gulf War, alles in daar geweest. Alles the sandstorms and all that shit, they essentially immobilized ganze divisions because alle trucks, alles gaan kaken because of the sand, right?
Yeah.
So whether you want to blame her for weapons maintenance or not, essentially their weapons jammed. Whether it was because the Iraq was desert and
how many people guns jammed?
A lot. So, but that's in the kind infantrymen. That's in a convoy from supply behind the line. So the line. Ik denk dat Baghdad zo'n bis Baghdad moet dan warten bis door zo'n kim was dat zo snel hebben ze they mowed down the Iraqis bis zo'n kim in the outskirts of Baghdad. And supply was behind. They had the assault on Baghdad had to wait because the supply was
geld. Nicht geld, tools.
Ze gaan zien snel hoeveel supply had expected. And she was behind that. She was heading towards Baghdad with her convoy and took a wrong turn and they got ambushed.
Why do you say her? She was what?
She was private. She was PFC Lynch. But I'm saying her convoy. Her.
No, as in her, she was in charge?
No. I'm saying her convoy. Not her as in The convoy that she was part of. Obviously, kind of under the name because they either died in that ambush or she was the PI. She was the advice for need. Their weapons jammed. So in real time, the news story of Marozgalike from the DOD, no, she fought a hero, she fought back, and then she ran out of ammo. No. She wasn't. I'm not saying she wasn't a hero. Of course she was a hero because she was in war and she was a POW and all. But the story, and she tells it herself on her podcast and when she tells her story, that no, the weapons fucking jammed. That's all it was.
Wow.
I have no idea how I got to this story.
Yeah, me neither. I guess that was brutal when named Jessica Lynch.
No.
Just messing around.
I use it as an example to
army stuff.
Yeah, but back to basic training. Everyone gets put into a position of leadership just to see potential, right? Because there's always a student platoon sergeant, a student squad leader, a student within basic training. just to give everyone an opportunity. And halfway through basic training, the drill sergeant saying, wer is besser.
If you do it every day.
Yeah, and some people just don't have that leadership, in them. If you can train to become one, everyone can become a sergeant. It's not a big deal to become a sergeant. All you have to do is do the right thing. You do what you're told, and you're a sergeant. And speaking the lingo, the way all that, it's not because I'm a genius. It's jeder can understand. Every dumbass in America can be a soldier and speak the way he speaks, as if he's this brilliant guy that understands lingo and understands military functions, military fighting, warfighter functions. Ja, man lernt alles aus. So alles auf jede Sache.
Okay, noch einmal. Aber es ist nicht wegzumachen. If you go to training, you know it. Wow.
Well, yeah, I went through it. It's not good, but it's anybody can understand.
I feel like it should be mandatory in America.
I have an opinion about
just
that.
Just basic training. A 10-week program, basic training.
Yeah, I'll take it a step further.
I just want to stop you there. Nicht the basic training would deep is doorgang for the army. You might maybe tweak it, but the idea that 10 weeks you get your ass kicked and you have to do things, you have to run, you have to come back, you have to schlep for 10 weeks. And then you can do whatever you want.
Again, me personally, I would take it a step further. And it's not so much, it's about community service. Whether it's military service, whether it's community service,
no.
whether it's
No, the American gebouwd for freedom. No, for
I know that's never going to happen in the makeup of our culture, the makeup of our society. But
why shouldn't
theoretically, favos, because this says, ich fühle ganz verstanden, was zu tun.
No.
Do whatever the fuck I want. Und ich kann nicht sagen, ich bin ein Kacker, ich bin 80, ich kann schimmen.
No, you can.
I have nothing to speak of. It's gerecht.
The reason why I say 10 weeks, let's say a basic training, everybody, let's say guns, so that a ganze gun class, right? Schießen, kriechen, machen, that whole thing is because joining the army, teen episode community, that's up to you. But zusammen a functional society, was only machen kann nitwits, or whatever man calls it, nitwits?
Nitwits.
Whatever the name is.
Nitwits, yeah.
Also wie man sagt, hard times make tough people. Tough people make good times. Good times make weak people. Weak people make tough times. Tough time. So it's a cycle.
No, and I agree with you. But the purpose for me would have been even a step further. Would have been more of a cultural shift.
What's that going?
So do a gap zwischen generation to generation. Ins verstehen wir sich nicht. In the situation, I just like, back in the day we had respect for our elders. No, it's not that.
Some got other issues.
Yeah, but I'm very much a socialist, not in the political socialist.
Yeah.
Socialist, as in we have a social responsibility for one another. And this is niche what America is. America is everyone for themselves, bootstraps, whatever you want to call it, right? I personally believe in a social responsibility of any religious community, the heimische, ze do a Tam Chashabas, ze do a Gemach, ze do me helft zich aan de andere. This as a society is very important to me. America is not built that way. Ik wil gewoon man acres in middle of Wisconsin. Ik wil kennen die wat ik wil. Ik wil small government. Ik wil niet de government mag aantaan wat ik wil kennen die what the fuck ik wil. Ik wil eigenlijk baden en gaat zweiten. So kan ik mich baden. That attitude kind of splits a society apart where everyone fends for themselves. En me feelt niet wie me had a cohesive a unit wo du willst hast groei eine von andere within a community in insgesamt verstehen within the heimische everyone should do good, right?
It's a bisschen gerade wegen. We went into this.
Yeah.
Es ist nicht community. Es ist, the word is community, but for in the survival müssen wir uns haben again in the body, in the brain ist also ungekommen sie als wir müssen haben Menschen. Man lebt an der einzigste Zeit in der Welthistorie, wo die kannst fuhren, find du, let's say, bis Europe, und reden sie am Menschenwort. Sagst du, Borben?
Nicht nur reden ein Wort, und dürfen reden ein Wort.
Uber,
yeah.
Plane Ticket,
und kein Socialization.
Ich kann Wort. So das ist sich jemand. But in the brain, ist nicht gewired also.
But the American culture as a whole, the capitalist idea is for everyone for themselves.
Usually, okay, so wieso ich sehe es so? Wenn die lost people wachsen, usually willen sie nicht hargen an der Schochen. Wenn die lost a Mensch truly free, sanai, me weet echt klieger, amul me geen interakenig. Hand will man nicht an hinter keinem, but jeder einer versteht. Just lass mich wissen, by the way.
I have the day off.
Oh, okay.
I'm good. Ich habe angelegt, ich hatte Gas in der Nacht and I put in for leave. Ich wusste, ich kann schlafen spät. And ich dachte, mal bis dann von der Chevre, yes, I do have a wedding on a Tuesday night. So if you want me at formation at 4:30 in the morning, I may not be sober or I may not have been, to bed yet. So
du
we gaan game for leave.
Wie viel Moe bekommst du das a favor leave? Wie sagen wir das?
9. I earn 30 days a year. 2.5 days a month.
2.5 days a month. Kannst du nehmen alle 30 days auf einmal?
Yeah, it's not been approved by leadership. They can't, since downs, based off mission, they can't just decide, morgen ga ich. Dan leadership darf deciden, als ja, morgen, ich kann afforden, die sollst du sagen, über die
Es gibt
Arbeit.
nicht aus wie eine Rakete werden morgen.
Yeah, worst case scenario, but essentially there's...
Ich wollte dann an den Menschen Pentagon. Hallo, ja, wie halten der Raschen? Bei der ich gewatcht, Messiah.
Yeah.
Ich habe es gebinge-watched.
No.
Ich habe eine Question, der herausnehmen, der Zirikon alle
Was it worth your
Inter-
time first? I am completely sold.
It was very good.
flabbergasted.
It was
I
very
blown
good.
away.
But just me gave my poor information about it that you shouldn't have. As if spoiler alerts.
Okay.
Was is okay. The idea herausnehmen alle soldiers von der ganzen Welt.
The
Yeah.
withdrawal, yeah, was setting about, yeah.
How doable is it? Like, obviously, I signed a paper and bring it to my home. I get this. What is the real like? What's the real turning of the wheels? Was geschehen?
So sei gering zu sagen, jeder Präsident gesagt, yeah, I'm going to withdraw troops.
I'm just saying, hypothetically, ich wäre Präsident morgen, ich lege es an einen Effekt.
Jede Sache ist Hand, es ist eine kleine Welt und alles ist intertwined. The second and third order effects and the 10th order effect of jede, not just political, jede geographical change. The stock market in Japan, a kleine Sache geschieht, the stock market is often über Nacht. I'm just using an example. Everything you do has second, third,
Yes,
fourth order
okay.
effects. We just spontaneously do that besides the logistical nightmare. But let's say, yeah, morgen steigt man auf.
Hypothetically, noch einmal, in einem Jahr. Okay, maar ik die jedem zurück.
There's so much intertwined in jede Sache. And if you want to get into more specifics, if everyone puts their weapons down and keine
Okay,
kann sein eine der andere, but hast doch auch geschacht nach so viel let me shed from the civilian casualties in Iraq and Afghanistan, but even just military, so viel Weitung, just to withdraw. As soon as I put my weapons down, why should he put his down?
Yeah, but I'm saying if the president gets up and says we messed up and we apologize, and mazukt, if you come into my country and you we did a mistake, it's machmet them chapter. But if you open up again in the Kim's attacken, ma carpet bomb den ganzen Tag.
Ja, aber du weißt, wer macht nicht der Chapter? Einer, was noch nicht gewinnt geboren in 9/11. And in 2003, 2004 ist einer in seiner Family geheiligt geworden. Betuas, sie nicht betuas. Beschaß der Milchoma. Und weiß, hat ein kleiner Jingel. Sein Trauma, hat gut nicht political. Weiß eine Sache. Hat eine Tati, eine Chonisch kann Tati. Die suchst am Sari.
Ja.
Chapter hat sich noch gemacht.
But to be honest, der Jingle will echt nicht gut nicht stehen gegen Amerika. Wait. But, wenn sie dem haben, wie durchfuhren, jede dienstliche Mittwoch, of course. So, wo ist geschehen, das ist nicht. Samu gewinnt ein War und fertig.
Wie ist Tati?
Gestorben, Samu gewinnt ein War.
Hat mitgehalten, weil der Bombe geplatzt in Drossen von Sein. Wenn
I get it.
That hose got hit. Rightfully, wrongfully,
But the point is, the question is, Israel, right? As I like Narup, they have border problems. Any other country had border problems. America hat nicht kein border problem.
That's right.
Like, sind nicht du, man kann nicht denken, Hola, thanks, darauf wohnen. Hola, como estás? Man kann nicht das. You get what I'm saying? Canada kommt nicht her. Saying, so a ground invasion in nicht du.
Von dem ist schwer,
Man macht sie Amerika. Man macht sie Amerika für ein Jahr. Like no planes, kann ich schon von einer Building, ich kann Missiles gehen. Ich bringe jedem heim. Man macht sie Amerika für ein Jahr. That's it.
Von dem suche ich the second and third order effect, weil we can reden hypothetically and theoretically, but du hast so vieles geht daran in jede Sach. Alles ist
Jesus.
intertwined. It's not just David sucht for Messiah.
Aber get the segue.
Just pull out. It's an impossibility even theoretically.
Hear this. Wie nennt darf man aber Schäfer? Talking about segways. Ja.
The erste was gementioned segue with the German badge. And it was in the Norwegian Shabbos in the free. I love that shit. I just love that shit. How about pictures? So when I passed the German badge,
Wieso kriegt das der German Badge? Ja, aber der SS? Ist das German Flag, Bro? Ich weiß nicht.
Yeah, PB. German Armed Forces Proficiency Badge. Yes. Ich habe es gepasst, right? But nothing goes without ceremony in the military. The pump and the ceremony is playing for the aesthetics. First habe ich a dress uniform. Ich fight in a dress uniform. Maar ik fight in the fucking uniform in rood mit blue in silver.
Dat habe ich kein Mal nicht verstanden.
Die idee von Camouflage ist nicht gewähnt.
But was ist die Idee von Stein Grut? Wo ist gar nicht in der Saat?
Weil da muss ich gehen, a certain laws of war, da muss ich gehen, respectful. Ich gehe Stein, du gehst Stein dort.
Isn't that fucking dumb though?
Hand ist alles.
But no one even thought, but keiner versteht, keiner nicht damals gewähnt, you know, wir machen Guerrilla Warfare.
This is
doch kein Barbaric.
The Eagle kennt dann das ein bisschen wie der SS Eagle, weißt?
Nein, es geht aus in New York State.
Nein, you can SS into the Eagle. So, into the Feigl.
Ich weiß, ich sag, SS, ja, sind gewesen sehr in sie Flags in sam gegleibt in der alle Sachen sind noch gegangen in der Cup, wie heißt der Cup? Jesus' Cup. Jesus got that cup, was gemacht der waren in sie. Ja, but the Jesus one.
The wine was man get in church is the blood of Christ.
Yeah.
The crackers is the body of Christ.
Aber. Sehr schön, der Mensch, der gesucht mit der Pointy Hat. Aber was ich suche finde whatever, sie sind mystical, the Nazis.
Of their belt buckle, even inscribed as something about God.
Ja, so gewesen sei the zum gehad a general von the ceremonies.
Just like everybody.
Yeah. In ich trachte mir, sind gewesen von, when is Hitler around in power? 1930s. 1930s, and gestorben bei 48?
Not 45.
45 again down the war? Der alle Zeiten, wer ist aufgekommen mit die alle Shit? Wie und wo sind, wenn immer liked? Like, wer hat Zeit von dem? Ich bin...
Tradition in formations and formalities and Sachen is ingrained in military as a whole because the hype sich mit der Discipline. Wir kommen zum Beispiel an the team, the formation, even in our infantry, right? Warum habe ich a team leader? Warum habe ich a squad leader? Warum ist die formation?
Wer ist dann Teamleader?
Ich bin der Teamleader. So ich habe a squad leader. Ich bin schon a sergeant. So ich habe a hecher sergeant, was ist der squad leader.
Der squad leader hat wie viele Teams?
Noch zwei. Noch Chrui basically of the ganze squad, but basically directly redt nur zu den zwei Teamleaders, wo sie geben information für den Rest von der Team.
Kann die jumpen?
Kann mich superseden, ja, weil ist mein Boss.
Aha.
So alles is based off of discipline. To halten discipline.
Ja, I get it.
My uniform then so shine because kann ich dann ein bisschen ein inch David, ein inch.
Die gest him respect?
Like, ja, die salutes not officers, but ja, ich darf ihm reden mit ihm. Ich rief ihm Sergeant, ich rief ihm nicht beim Namen. Weil ist ein Hecher, ist ein Staff Sergeant.
Moishi!
Yeah. Now again, in a work environment, bist du nicht big attention. But in formation, in official settings, bist du ja sehr formal. But ich sitze neben dir, dein Desk ist neben mein Desk in the field. You know, es ist schwer zu... You don't salute in the field. Why don't you salute in the field? Because when the enemy sniper kicked, wem salute man, der Hecher, en laat me geen schießen können. So in the field environment,
ich will gesagt für einen in der Gruppe, okay, I'm sorry, die ganz andere Saluter. Ich habe dich saluten. Just in case. Nehmen.
In Band of Brothers yesterday. So in Band of Brothers? It's a very important, it's part of D-Day, it's part of, it's a true story about a unit, paratroopers that are angeflogen behind D-Day, behind the lines. So it can say a brand new private came through in a salute in theater, and you don't salute in the field, you don't salute in theater for that purpose. And beschrijft hem en don't as a brand new private toen ik hem en valt eraan en mitten in Mochoma en ik kim toen
en get them out.
Ik zit er van basic training as I formal, ja.
Alles is yes sir. Yeah. The military. complex.
It's very complex, but it's very simple. Anyone can do it. It's very structured. So, de fragt van woest is also.
Nein, ich weiß, wo es ist important.
Rood and blue.
That's so
It's an
fucking
evolution.
stupid, though.
I feel like World War II is gewinnt kein camouflage, gewinnt alles gegen green.
I get...
Maar ze hebben van de rood met de blue, dus kwam rood en blue in
But how stupid is this?
foliage.
Kijk, we zijn moe gewend met een barbaric. Ja, maar Königen zijn gegangen verbrennen andere Städte. Ze hebben ook kein nicht verstanden. Verbrennt in je Schacht. Like, what the fuck?
I feel like World War II is flamethrowers.
Das ist verlegger in deze. Maar als je ook naar apartment building...
Ja.
Nicht... Okay, but it's again ground-to-ground fighting of the spot. Jene keine... Ja, amol... Wat geharget waben, kinder, Männer, die gaan... Verwoes schießt die aus der ganze Town?
A lot of it was religion based too.
Obviously, but... Stam ook het
My
gewend...
God,
Ze
King
hebben
God.
toch gezegd, wo ze het in? Toch gezegd, wo ze het in?
And a lot of it was just a show of force.
En nog eens-
Diese halte de men... How do I keep it from ever becoming a rebellion? Da vergeet de poer geduschen, der man en der oilem, weer de balboes, du echt plein reinkomen en ausschechten. Dit was 27. Hand is the 27-year-old males. Morgen is the 35-year-old females.
En nog
even
een-
morgen is not the
Is
pregnant
men
lady.
gegangen, zie blue en was, rood en blue, en across the stage, reload.
We bought a certain amount of respect. Oh,
Is that respect?
Color war. It took a certain color. In hand, had my mother as a gang in American uniforms because, but it's against the rule of law, right? So to trug aan zweitens uniform, oder nicht trug aan uniform that is identifiable, die bis belangt van jene group, van jene zaad, right? So han guerrilla warfare in terrorism and deze Sachen, ze haben nicht kann, they put their weapons down, they wave the white flag, you know. A second three ben ik gewesen a fighter, han ben ik niet, jetzt ben ik niet.
Kannst da immer wacken dem Shop.
That's against the misdown in a certain uniform. Distinct uniform was just die balance for their group. So back in the day, when ze geen linear warfare, even staan doen, we staan dat met ze geschossen naar een ander, met ze gehaald naar een andere. Ik geween met respect to that kind of rule of law.
Yeah, but that's so fucking stupid. I'm sorry to tell you.
Oh, no doubt.
That's so fucking stupid.
No doubt. But
Jesus.
people will still, small-minded, but smaller-minded, had up a better understanding. As yeah, maybe you want to be camouflaged. Maybe you have an... Ja, man camouflage is een beetje anders wie dan. Wie fight die, wie fight Steve. But it's still an understanding
But right daran zu
warfighter.
fitten. Nicht rood en blue. Wie fucking Arunam. Jesus, nog gewinnt man sich England hat verloren. Da rausgeworfen dem Queen, huh?
But we still use that as a for
Noord-Ins.
ceremonial.
Noord-Ins.
No. Military as a whole still uses that as for ceremonial purposes. So back to the German guy for the ceremony. Ik ga me gezegd, okay, ik ga gepast. Ik ga me gewoon in de badge in gangen water. No, you have to have morgen te iedere gepast of wees wat gepast. Dinsdag in de free, guide the German Sergeant Major, guide presenting the badge for Davis wat is bekimmen. So I'm hungrig my shine was Hamid, my formal days, and I got this pinnen. And it's gonna I got to proverter, shine a proverter in either class.
Maar echt een sticker gehad.
in
Bullshit niet zo.
in have a picture. So the hospital, whatever the units PR, like the Facebook, whatever, for the archives, for zich alleen. Some
Ja.
my picture. So do a picture for me, a beautiful picture via pint me, and ik heb hem schulen, shake the hand with the German Sergeant Major in me. And they ingrained, ich bin nicht Satmer. So ich bin nicht aufgewachsen jeden Tag mit der Mand von dem Lager. Okay, in Satmer
Ja.
ist gewesen, die ganze existence von Satmer is based off the Weitug and based off
Is
their
dat zijn
shit.
again de weinigste in war.
Ja, in der Rebbe, wir gaan nicht gewesen dort. Weil man nicht reden davon. Die Zionen, die machen schon mal, so haben wir rausgeraten wird von dort. But,
Zijn Attacke mach schon mal. So man gedacht, wenn dort lassen.
I wasn't sure where you're going.
Ja, no, joking, I'm joking.
Ja, dat is ehrlich. But, ze nog als weg jiddische box op een gelijk te gaan. Weg de gemakkelijke had box. Was er een box op een gelijk? Alles
Ja, alles geen war.
Shaking his hand, you know, I was aware. Ik ga niet mooi de guy van hem als, ik ga tegen mij een ras of zijn hemmet. Haha, peekaboo, Nazi, SS, poeh.
The 6 million and one.
Ja, nein, ich bin gewinn sicher, seine Seite, especially ob er is a high-ranking military, chances are that his father was too. Chances are that ältere Seite, ich gewinn...
Älter, dann seine Seite.
Ja, in laat dat gegen a high-ranking SS guy. A regular guy, blue-collar guy, was could join the war effort just because jeder hat es getan.
Das hat man gemisst.
Some guys warriors, the next guys some guys freedom fighters, the next guys terrorists, right? So it happens to be a German and it's protect German and whatever Hitler gesagt has, this is wichtig.
Ja.
Excuse me. So but I was aware of that. So ich gewinn Kili, nein, man hat die ganze vergessen, we love each other, everything is good. Yes, but ich bin ganz gewinn aware, als ein reute Hoer mit seinen blauen Augen, it is Aryan.
It is that, it is jener.
It is German.
It is jener.
The only difference is, without trying to get too political, the original sin of America, of slavery, in some decided...
Original sin?
Original sin. So we consider that the original sin.
No.
What is the original sin?
Yeah. No, the original... What are you talking about, the sin? Jeder got slaves.
Yeah, but Han Weissman is in the original sin, yeah?
It was original.
What was the original sin then? There was no original sin.
Ich verstehe nicht, ich verstehe, man sucht, first original sin meint slavery, but ich sehe es nicht als eine schlechte Sache. Weil die ganze Welt hat slaves. So hat sich geendigt, also wie blue und rot. Du verstehst es nicht in dort, ja. Hypocrite, Vicky.
We can go down that rabbit hole, but without doing that, just in 1865, we decided no more.
Ja.
Was decided no more.
Ja.
Hat gegeben Frieden, so schön no more. Was noch verweitig vernechten? Was heißt?
No, that's different.
Die bist bei der 100-yard line. Ich habe jetzt soon.
No. First of all, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that.
40 acres and a mule. I get it. It's more complex, and I don't want to get into that specific noise. What I'm trying to point out is in Germany, nicht nur me study the Holocaust, me acknowledge that noch reparations bis hand kann es rule for the Juden. Right? I'm nicht nur acknowledge I'm nicht nur gestoppt team was I'm getting wrong. So I'm acknowledge that is wrong. Number 2.
Yeah,
number 3, Melanzos in as much as Germany is a democracy as much as America is, their First Amendment is not like our First Amendment. But that idea for freedom of speech, Nazism is illegal in Germany. Nicht in America. Alles is coming. Alles is, you have the Red Scare and all that, but alles is legal in America because you have a First Amendment right.
Yeah.
And I fight to protect, as abhorrent as your views might be, hast mich gefallen, nicht nur weil ich bin, nicht nur because I'm white, or nicht nur because I'm Jewish. You hate me because of all
whatever
other
reason
reasons.
it is.
I will support your right to burn the flag. I will support your to kneel for the flag. I will support, whether I do or don't agree with it.
That's a different
This is America. In Germany, Nazism is illegal. Dann muss acknowledge, es allein aus die Kinder wussten sie Seite haben getan, wie schlecht es gewesen in Methods reparations for the Jidel was am gelebt and for the Mishpoches. Different than in America, was my playing is stopped and said, okay, we're all equal now. Alles is geht jetzt. Again, I'm not trying to go down that hole where we agree or disagree. But in Germany, at least weiß ich, als der German Sergeant Major is nicht a Nazi.
Wieso tegen viel leben die? You'll never know.
He was normal. I don't think. When I used to do a couple for the ceremony, I do sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. But
yeah, but Chaim Shlamyak.
Weißt du, sein Name ist
ja, aber I'm saying
nicht wissen.
Maybe
mein letzter Name ist nicht
Joeli Schwarz.
Ja, so nicht viele Schwarz ist ein deutscher Name auch, right? So das kann es conflaten. Echte jüdische Namen, Cohen ist ein jüdischer Name.
Wieso redt er?
No, English was pretty good. English is a second language, and he was very proficient.
Sprechen Sie, fluchen Sie, huh?
The jetzige Sergeant Major habe ich getroffen, Apothek Zurich, in perfect English. Perfect English. I told you, they put you in an assignment, so it's not zweite, das gekommen. So that was my German badge. Ich habe es gefehlt, but I wasn't.
Nog een bisschen.
So ich kann weit durch das.
Bisschen removed. Als du aware hast, hat sich geöffnet taputieren in deinem Brain.
Yeah, and I'm just aware. Nicht kein fucking Nazi, you know. Hat nicht kein Animus gegen mich. Die Guy mich nicht fand, okay? And it has no reason.
I don't think the Guy hat fand. Ich kann sein der Hate.
Yeah.
The
hate to do for us, aber. The why is important. The what is very simple.
Wenn die fallst du auf face first, wo's hackst du?
Your faceplant.
Der Nuss.
No.
Der Nuss wird zerbrochen. Insama der Nuss. Die erste Patches von der Jid. Von wo soll ein Stick mehr raus der meiste. Kijk und
Not to excuse the behavior.
No.
It's also wrong for hating.
Nochmal.
But if you take it a step further and say, hey, as much as you're wrong, I still want to understand it, regardless of whether you're right or wrong.
70 years ago. 80 years ago hat man ins verbrennt. Ja?
Yeah.
In kijk gewoon hand wie in Steinmetz. Just 80 years.
Yeah.
A Medina. The banking industry. Like alles is run by the Jews.
Yeah, when the Goyim found the Haltaran the Jew runs the world, he's absolutely correct.
So
We disproportionately are everywhere.
Ich lief this because man hat uns so gepanic for the past 2000 years.
And they're inherently survivalists.
Ja.
And opportunists auch.
Weil man surviven.
Yeah.
Weil man surviven. You know.
But Germany pre-Hitler is auch gewesen also. Warum wir also gering für ihn zu scapegoat in the Yid? And it's gewesen wrong. Wie ist der gedreht? The bankers, the politicians, pinten wie hand, the doctors, pinten wie hand.
But auch
gewesen Jiden.
The difference is in a week, ob es war gewesen phones. Jene Zeiten, also wie hand, well, it wouldn't have happened.
Because again, the propaganda arbeitet anders hand wie Amul.
So,
Amul, der Pläne darf sagen, bis jeder hat es geglaubt. Because
So, die guys checken 30 Mal weg zu a camp, man leicht darüber, das kann man.
sie haben gewohnt gleich dort. They were kind of aware, but sie sind getting zu ignoren.
So,
Sie sind getting to ignoren the fact as
a
10 miles
factory.
down the road.
A jail factory.
Sie schmeckt etwas, ich weiß,
So,
ja.
jail factory, man
But
macht dort
again,
einen Teil.
some were aware, some were not. Sie haben gearbeitet dort, nach heimgegangen, Kimbato kochen, heimgegangen.
Most of them didn't know.
Yeah.
I would say so.
Or they were willfully ignorant, meaning, you can't wissen, but sie sind schon gegangen.
Noch einmal. It's a huge difference.
If you check archive videos from 1942, 43, 44, sie sind gegangen zu der Arbeit. Think of America today. Sie sind gegangen auf Ausflug, sie gegangen auf Vacation,
Ja,
sie gegangen Holidays,
Land.
ja, geherige Life. Dann noch gewesen, in sind wir noch, also wir haben gekommen in Afghanistan noch, ja, but we live a life, right? It was similar. If you weren't in the big city, was man gebombt, you were just living a life.
Ja, also wir sagen Jiden, wenn Hitler hat sich geregt, ja, the war gekommen zu seiner Town, Menschen haben im Gang, like, oh nein, dort in Wien, du Problems, du?
Yeah.
Das ist mein scheine Haus.
Again, McGivey made aware of the war effort because jeder adult from 18 to 40, whatever, was war fighting age. So everyone was intimately involved as far as family or whatnot. But deep personally, the waren Kinder, if die beginnen ein bisschen älter, als schon retired from the army, from the erste Welt gekommen, you were aware of it. If you were out of the big city, you were just living a life. But you were willfully ignorant because it's noch alles gewusst.
Es geht da
Als du auch-
Inkling, aus
Ja.
Geheer.
Und er was gekannt, wenn
Wie hat das discussed? Nein. Wenn du bist gegangen zu a German Party, ist das discussed?
This is also included in the boy with the striped pajamas.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's a novel. It's not a true story, but it's based on
Could have-
events that
could-
could have
Could have
absolutely
been
happened.
happened.
Yeah.
Could have been. Was nicht?
Yeah, it's incredible. The ending from the movie is, oh my god. The hype to feel schlecht for the guy, for the Nazi.
Ja, er läuft,
It's
ne?
unreal. It's unfucking real. But that could have been very well been true. In the idea, vernemen am Spruch, also wie aim, you know, in private tutors and all that shit, right? Gleich leben in the camp and don't worry about Tati got to the Arbeit jeden Tag. Don't worry about it. It's just a regular job. Part of the war fighting effort, right?
Whatever, man lag, also wie man macht, du in Amerika, man zusammengenommen alle Chinese, ja, Japanese, ja.
In internment camps, yeah.
Selbe Sache, selbe idea. Like, yeah, we don't hurt them.
Yeah.
We just put them in a place.
Yeah.
Kick me the ball, honey.
Yeah. And it's auch gewesen to halten certain kind of ignorance as well, because wenn Yogi kennt schmiss mit dem, das von Essen von der Eiterdas, von Line in the Books mit tun nicht, ja, the censorship. Whether you will agree with it or not, as soon as you see it, that there is an acknowledge an other side, it's like the Quran feiligen Kap. This is clear.
Noch gesagt, even tof
Ich darf restricten, es so beglaubt sehr feilig zu beginnen, also so mal viel a shredder of an opportunity zu öfter trachten, als das gerecht. So yeah, was is this man do behind a mic, and was redt me fin?
Wie heißt dein Buch? Oi. Jenems Kampf.
Ja,
Mein Kampf.
Mein Kampf.
Es ist geschrieben in jail.
Es ist geschrieben in
Ihm hat er mal rausgelost.
2 Bände.
5 Uhr.
2 Bände.
5 Uhr ist er gesessen in prison. Er bekommen nach 5 Uhr Sentence. For treason.
Yep.
A uprising in a country. Er geschrieben ein Buch.
Come on, 700 pages.
Ihm hat er mal rausgelost.
Yeah.
Sons of bitches.
Because man gemeint, it is a joke. Again, a joke. Again, a fucking joke.
Joker her, Joker hin. Ein Mensch, der schreibt darauf auf ein Buch, wo es... Er gewinnt in Court und er gemacht er kann sagen, geht reden. Sie do Videos Menschen analysen, weiß, er hat sich gelernt zu reden. So du
Also wenn ich drinken gelernt, weißt du, ich
loser.
ja.
gonna painter.
Ja.
Gonna get a painter.
And he came from not even a blue collar family. He came from a
Gunisht.
schmatte Gunish.
Zijn tate gewesen a soldier in the army.
Ja.
Hat gepaint. Ich hab gesehen seine Paintings. Und man sucht, dass er nicht gehen geht. Ich halte das nicht dessen.
Ja, also es geht George Bush's paintings yet. Seen this shit?
Was heißt?
George Bush, W.
Ja.
En dan shirt daar weer, ja.
Du weißt, aber man sucht, er nicht kann scheuten.
Als gesprochene shirt, ja.
People say not. People that know him in his circle say not. But okay, again,
Again, but mensen van maar personal gevoel voor een mens.
Nicht gefühl. People in his circle say as
ja, hij was geschoten met een pippik in de rozen, weil er pissed of, ze valt niet zo rot van zijn loser. He doesn't drool, right?
was ging mit seinem Painting?
Kijk hoe zijn paintings. Hij is wel opeten. Hij paint jetzt vivid images of soldiers that came back because he loves the troops and all that. He tries to rehabilitate his image from a fucking Iraq war and shit. Was het al toegeteen, ja?
Da mal rangegangen nach fucking country ungewischt.
Plain.
Although, man gedacht opnehmen Saddam Hussein. Man gedacht opnehmen Saddam Hussein.
Ausdrücklich nicht.
Wegen humanitarian. Immer groß.
Humanitarian?
Stapparegel. Stapparegel.
Shit.
Wenn man guide... Nein, ich hab's nicht. Wenn man guide wenn ran mit der Understanding as a humanitarian, ja, immer groß. Wat nicht gewählt, wat man nicht so herangegangen. But whatever. Ich hab's nicht
Humanitarian a joke. And some allies with Saudi Arabia. Humanitarian my ass. Please. Oil.
Wegen dem ist man daran, der Weg wissen wir daran, und man darf immer resten von dem.
Nicht nur dem, there was no exit strategy. There was no exit strategy, and nobody was able to define what does a win look like. Deze is gewoon een vriend te vertellen, als we te zoeken, maar harige de frontline mensen, ja. When man macht plans at the top, right? There's an acceptable loss, based off of preliminary ideas. Okay, was is in Zaya strength, in their strength, was haben capabilities and all. It's kind of their mission, a kind of mission within a war, or a war as a whole. When man macht their plans, darf man accept a certain number of loss. Yeah, so the hypes von tragen for individuals, wo die sucht, man Tata is an acceptable loss. Nein, but on paper,
schickst dann an 100,000 Menschen.
Yeah, what's an acceptable loss?
3%.
Still a win or still an accomplishment, right? There's still a number, but yet the individual soldier is sad, right? It's a family, it's friends, it's a community that lost a person. But as far as war on paper, what's an acceptable loss? So when man was vetter, again in the front line, they had an 18-minute life expectancy. That was an acceptable loss for reinforcement, and very reinforcement. So you're going to plan, oh my God, only from the reserves, hey, does this set some bet? And I'm the kids. No, there was a plan, secondary, third, and all that, but the acceptable loss. And ich muss können du, ich kann wir können du. Oh,
Red wegen
Bush.
Humanitarian.
You have to. The few basic things of war is define winning. So define the objective. Verwusstet man das, yeah?
Ja.
Okay. And when you achieve the objective, define winning. Hast to achieve the objective. So morgen gehen wir alle heim, oder we scale back, oder wir bleiben dort as a police force, or like define winning. And once you define winning and you won, what's the exit strategy? Has gewonnen, but gaat het samenvallen met de guys. So they try. What's the objective? Define winning, and what's your exit strategy? So no gewein a definition why we're going in. And the definition was fucked up. No. So because I include it was a fucked up reason, but it's good for the American public for what's
fucked up reason. Maar je zoekt to mass destruction.
Yeah, and they joke als Saddam gewein in bed met Bin Laden. Ze hebben zich gevangen gehad, because er een radical Sunni en Saddam een secular
bad part. Hem gedacht. Ik rond dat country.
Ja. Ik ben in Afghanistan. The reason why Afghanistan, what's the difference in Afghanistan? Gids van de culture, gids van andere mensen. Afghanen zijn niet geen Araber. Ze zijn Moslims, zijn niet geen Araber. Ze zijn Pashtus.
Andere
completely, also de Iranians zijn niet geen Araber, ze zijn Persians, ja. Afghanistan is its own culture.
Ze zijn nog Muslims.
Ze happen to be Muslim, but they're not Arab.
Ja.
Laat afge brown ook niet. So do is but they was coming from the borders from Iran and made brown. But
borders is only made by people.
That's right.
With the
so
fortunate.
Culturally, Hassa Sahwasa was coming from the north. They still a kleine pipi who sticks from Afghanistan. The borders was the northeast, was the border China. You could say Afghani soldiers was they geherig Far East Asian.
Yeah, sure.
That's a coming from a border region.
Borders are only made by people from the fortunate.
In Iraq, actually, voten when you can't do a better war just because
dark blues, yeah.
Because they have a culture, they have a people, they have a flag, they have a unity, they have a certain pride of like a national
Of
identity.
being, yeah.
In Afghanistan, it's all tribal. Jede region hat seine eigene tribe. Within jede region hast du a bunch of different tribes. Man schluckt sich mal heilig the Taliban, days mit Jens. It's all tribal. Es ist alle, tausende Jüdische gewesen tribal. So, I'm going to set up a government in Kabul, and there's a guy leading the ganze government. It's the ganze country. It's never going to happen, even without war.
Man
It's always tribal.
nicht darf da rangehen.
In Iraq, at least, if you would have won over the hearts and minds, with the actual legitimate objective in Iraq, you could have had someone to work
Man
with.
hat disband the ganze army.
So auch wenn wie sind sie gegangen?
Man disband the army.
There was no plan. But we wollen gekannt um success that man will have a legitimate objective and legitimate winning and legitimate all that. This is Bush mit seinen freaking paintings von Oilemaß. Sind das paintings?
Wir sehen da Band.
Hallusches. So yeah, so back to Hitler. Ich habe kaum gesehen seine paintings von Hitler.
Was ich meinte sagen ist, als mit dem gedacht wenn annehmen bei der Painting Hall of Fame dort.
Ja, geht ihr?
Ja, you know.
This is it's the eye of the beholder kind of fucking excuse.
Ich weiß nicht, wie es scheint sie nicht, but
Der ist von Bush, der ist von Hitler.
ich rede von Hitler.
Oh,
Aber dann Hit. War jetzt arbeitet nicht davon?
Ach, jetzt gehabt, dass du die Musik gespielt in der Background. Hast du es noch geliked? Stille, nicht ausgelassen. I like. Was arbeitet nicht mal shit. It's not bad.
It's not bad.
It's
It's this or 6 million.
It's nicht complex. Ja.
I guess we chose the 6 million, bro.
Wenn wir ihm gegeben, positive reinforcement, wenn ein Teacher sucht ihm zu shine, wird er nicht gedacht, gar nicht getan.
Er wollte gut nicht gewinnen.
Ja.
Er wollte gut nicht gewinnen. So, wenn er gejoint sein Group, ja, und er gemacht in der Beer Hall, es gibt ein Bulle dort. Es ist eine ganze Masse. Er gewinnt in sein Beer Hall. In der Beer Hall, er geht nach Drusche, nachdem ist er an in Prison. Weil bei seinem Court Case hat er glaube, er kam live. Anybody was walked around als a Platz, as in a coup gegen the government is live.
Yep.
Er gaat naar mad Drusche. Dus ook daar zag hand kan schon nicht geschehen. Mensch hat Drusche in Court. Hat er do cameras. Er gaat hem er gaat naar zijn mad get Drusche, no bakim a 5 uur. En er geschrieben den book in jail. Ich hat hem rausgelost.
Because man kann nicht genommen serious. Ich bin gut nicht.
Noch hat er decided, why go fight? Why fight them? Join them.
Ja.
Dat ibe gewonnen. Wenn er starbt in 1938, wat er bekommen the Nobel Prize.
Really?
For peace, yeah.
He was nominated for
in 1938. If my memory corrects me, you know.
It takes one person of whoever is part of that.
In 1938,
a nomination means nothing. Anybody can anybody from the ganze group.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but he was nominated.
He was up there in 1938. Weil gemacht Schulen.
Welche Jahre gewinnt the Olympics in 38 to 36? In the Olympics in Germany.
In a Schwarzer da gewonnen. You know the story?
Ja,
but okay, so Eid kann man nicht schon sehen. A Schwarzer hat gewonnen der Race und hat rausgeblusen der Nazi Party Runner. In man hat gesagt, dass der Schwarze kennen nicht. So man hat aber nicht gelassen gehen auf den Stage. Und gesagt, man kann spielen the anthem.
But he was someone to reckon with. In the 30s, no one took him serious when Koiden geschrieben, wenn er gewinnt agonisch, ja. Und noch einmal mit ihm genommen serious, als wuss hat gesagt, jetzt ist schon part of parliament, ist schon etwas, but auch nicht genommen serious, that he's actually going to act on that shit.
Crazy, though.
Incredible.
Koiden auch, der Weg, wo sie gestanden auf Stage. Der Weg auch het Hand, ja. Ich do Telefons, Drusches macht schon nicht. Da muss ich eine leidige Hall, pflegt warten, bis wird still. Einer hat ihm ausgelehnt, wie heißt das, a mentor in der Sachen. Pflegt kicken pictures of sich, wie so act.
For the same reason, Roosevelt hat nicht gesagt, President Roosevelt in a fucking wheelchair.
Ja, aber auch der News hat gemacht, dass gar nicht zum Gata.
Ja. But, noch alles, Hand, that's the news. Anybody with a fucking smartphone, hat a picture, wie er fällt zusammen, er kann nicht stehen auf der Fies, er hat Polio und shit. Same thing.
Ja, so man darf auskicken schein. Man sucht doch Abraham Lincoln, was auch ist gekannt sein, Präsident Hand.
Was gehen seine Limitation?
Sein Punam. Ich geht ausgekickt.
Mit der Boden der langen Nose.
Und ich geht ausgekickt. Like, he wasn't good looking. Hand geht es auf the looks.
Look presidential.
Ja, so man darf sein auf certain Weg. Das habe ich lieb gehabt, Trump. Nicht sein auf certain Weg.
Het ist wie Google. Der Orange Man, het ist wie Google. Hat nicht kannst lachen.
Ist aber Boss.
Wenn einer lacht für
Ist
seine
aber
lange
Boss.
Tage, it's not about, it doesn't necessarily say that, ich kenne nicht einen Präsident, weil er hat eine lange Tage, but der ganze Look, bist du kein Neuscher. Von wo sieht es dann Rekel, wie der Yeshiva-schige Mann, der Keulige Mann, was hat changed in Eintaschen, sie hängt ihm, sie fliegt ihm, so gut, nothing,
Er hat ein Mayonnaise
hast du kein
Package.
Image. Was ist?
Er hat ein Mayonnaise Package, hat nicht gegessen, ein Grilled Chicken Sandwich. Er hat
Ja,
ein Package.
hat frischtig vernechten, liegt ihm auf dem Tag.
But er ist ein Boss. Shiga him, Shiga hin ist ein Boss. Er kennt seine Sache, also wie, er kennt seine Stage, er kennt seine Mic, er kennt seine
I
Audience.
can't say audience. That was Trump's and he read an audience. And ich hatte so
But auch, supposedly, ich gedacht, zurückbringen die Army.
von dem so
Wir haben mich gelost.
von dem so du kennst nicht
Weil
morgen, es ist so komplex.
Ja, aber da bin ich gegeben der Order.
Actually gewollt. Hat nicht kein Western, hat nicht kein career politician, ja?
Er hat gut nicht.
Hat nicht kein Western interest. Hat nicht in the military industrial complex. Personally hat nicht kein Western interest halten der Troops dort, ja? So, but he read the room. The room said, bring him home. Hat gesagt, ja, die wisst das? Das hat mich ein Populist, ich will ihn zurückbringen. And good, he was a populist. Ich will ihn zurückbringen. Was du nicht zurückgebracht?
Das hat man nicht gegeben, der Messages.
Zurückgebracht a certain number of troops. Aber der erste Puri, wie sie Präsident hat geheirat die Numbers. Wenn er zurückgebracht die Numbers, zurückgebracht, wie sie gewähnt.
Jerome Bombs hat getan, als was sie sagen.
Obama getan 10-mal mehr wie Bush
Ja.
und getan noch mehr von dem. But it's so gering to say, hey, you're not putting anyone in harm's way.
Ja.
It's an easy solution to keep the war going without putting anyone in harm's way. But first, that actually heimgebringen gut nicht.
Aber man macht die Enemies. Jede Plane, jede Bomb, jede Soldier.
So, die gesucht, der Jingle, was von uns geboren an 11, schlug sich hart in Afghanistan von was. Plain, weil die bist du. Und ich denke, als kleinen Jingles, die gebaut man hoch, weil das gemeint, dass es actually ist gewählt,
Man
legitimate.
darf jedem zurückschicken und fertig.
Aber von dem ist es so komplex. Von dem,
Man darf sie machen in der Welt.
Actually gewollt heimbringen von Afghanistan. Gewollt. You couldn't do it. Why couldn't he do it?
Zurück zu der Messiah Movie. Ich verstehe, ich habe ungeheuben und ich habe geendigt mit derselben Sache. Sie der Messiah? I don't know. Mit sehen, wie es dann.
But the story tells a story, wie a fella die als the viewer, wo die siehst alles, was andere sehen nicht within the story, du bist der Observer von
Ja,
the outside.
but the problem ist, ich weiß, wenn ich weiß, der Messiah, ja, lass mal sagen, ich weiß, okay, der Messiah. Und jetzt darf convincing the people, ich weiß doch, der Messiah. In ein Part, was kann ich lieb, like in the storyline, wie man weiß, geworden sein Bruder, und geht der Messiah-Komplex. Ja,
Ja.
das harge der ganze Narrative. Sie weiß doch schon nicht.
Weil es macht ihm human, es plain
No, was sie du, no, was sie du.
Mashiach Shaker, weil ich gewollt das an.
Sie du Menschen, was haben einen Messiah-Komplex. Of course. Sie kennen History.
The backstory
Jesus.
von der Israeli Shabaknik. The backstory, wie geboren nach Frimer, Haredi Sfardi.
Ah,
The backstory.
ja.
Fuß geworden Frau, fuß ein Atheist, fuß
Seine Mama gestorben beim Bamba.
Yeah. This is the extra 5 seconds from the freaking episode. You don't expect that, right? And boom, the screen goes blank and spoiler alert, but
Ja, aber es macht Sinn. Israel.
yeah. No, but the story
Kann ich gießen, dass aim.
von dem habe ich sleep gehabt. Because it takes an idea of it's kind of on this touching and it makes it so real within real people's lives.
Walk now on water, sagt er by the pool. By the way, they in the show, they interviewen a mensch mit der lange Wasserboot, I forgot his name. As an expert in false
Messiahs.
it is real in real life.
Ah, ja?
Ja, is ich habe vergessen seinen Namen. But debunked die alle Sachen.
But the Christian was it's a verkäufer and it ends with nothing.
Yeah.
The disappointment, they let down.
Ja, verbrennt den
It was
building.
all- it was- yeah.
Die building hat schein gebrennt. Es hat geflammt.
Er gewollt verbrennen the building, but then was
Er hat
Mashiach
verbrennt.
umgekommen. Nein, in the beginning, the Mashiach ist umgekommen.
Sie war weiter angewacht.
Ja. Er hat mal so gebrennt und geflackert im Zeilen.
False Prophet darauf ein Mistake gewesen, was ich bemerkt. Der False Prophet gedenkt, dass es getreut zu Vision.
Ja.
Wenn man kommt zurück, sie steht False Prophet, but ohne Vision Marks. Director, 411. Ich gehe so Ideas und sie machen Movies, gabst? Kennst du Masse mit der Zweien geladen? Ich walk durch ein Warehouse. Ich sehe Zweien geladen stehen draußen. Und er sagt, hey, Schaim, ein Mensch in Schiel, Moishe, whatever. I'm not sure going to check out the building of the West Side Highway. Ich machte ein Tour, ein ganze Tag. Ich wollte da gefragt, in wo ist die? Ich arbeite doch mit einem Manager, du. In jener der Baheim von den Käufen Buildings in Manhattan. Okay, noch einmal. Lassen wir das du.
The cliffhanger was I'm gelost from the show.
Schon ist kein Cliffhanger.
Season 2. Weil bis zum Sof.
Oh, de Bombe. Ja.
Except bis weil zu einer Bombe, ich kenne nicht am Mashiach.
No.
Right?
No.
The 5 minutes vor the ending flips the noch einmal. Okay, kann nicht Mashiach. And Demots, aber survived in the cliffhanger for season 2 was am gecancelt wegen COVID. Is a knackige cliffhanger.
Ja, ich sehe nicht, ich sehe nicht, der first season soll sich endigen. Sie just macht noch Episodes.
Ja, aber lässt dich über.
Lässt gut nicht über.
Jetzt gemeint nicht Emmes, jetzt ist ja Emmes, weil aufgelebte Teute.
Welche Teute?
The Jingle that was Kim von the local village.
Ja.
Nein, ich bin klar, gemeint Teut. Gemeint Teut, lebt jetzt.
Aber der Jingle, der gegangen ist, gesehen allein.
Again.
So clearly, hat gesagt, die denken, kommen in Class. Ich verstehe, wo die meinst. Ich habe auch gehabt, so wie any movie standing zur Jack Bauer, lebt ja. Kennst du, but...
Please don't conflate this show with that.
No, I'm just saying the idea. Jeder day so wie, er lebt.
In der Film gemacht, sagen, I'm sorry. Er hat ihm gemacht, überbeten, der Palästinenser was gehargert.
Nochmal, der Plane Trasket, jeder.
But they zooked it.
He was wrong.
Menschen zoeken als de minute van start met de Garuta, the shit was in the fields for me.
Well, he knew he was wrong all the time. It's just yet he had nothing to lose.
He had defenses up.
He has nothing to lose now.
Justified tegen zijn mama.
He knew it was wrong. He was in the show. You know he knows it's wrong.
But why did he do it?
I thought ich habe nicht gewusst. Ich habe gemeint, die ganze Zeit, wenn redt wegen der Boy, habe ich gemeint, dass geschnitten der Boy. Like literally, gestanden auf. This heißt. A soldier. Tut this shit.
Yeah, but it is an innocent boy. Is an underage minor.
And you mix it in with killing your mother when he was a minor. Okay.
But again, the system didn't. The judicial system didn't. It was extrajudicial killing.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, so it's nog altijd a guilty feeling. In the defenses had gemist altijd een zich reinforced.
Ich habe gemeint, dass geschnitten der Body jetzt geschickt mit in der Mail. Like literally, got so gewinnt als a tough cookie, als du bei der Sache sie geworden ganz von in der andere Friend, die sitzen in der Car und gut nicht gesagt, like
I think gewollt stop at first, but it's nicht the thing. But
yeah, you get what I'm saying. There's a lot. Says 2-3 Sachen points in the movie was in the show was.
I was.
No, it was very good. I enjoyed it.
There's no flashy cars. It's not Hollywood garbage.
No.
It's
Halib the Meidl.
The kleine Meidl. Yeah, sie nicht fancy nothing. She's not a pretty face.
In das gesehen, der kleine, sie geht daran in the comments. Sie sehen the comments.
Yeah.
It's a zagite lesson.
Yeah.
It's a zagite lesson because the internet.
It's real.
She has 20 million followers.
Yeah,
What's is 4 Menschen? What's is 4 Menschen? Wo schreiben ugly?
Yeah.
Like
that's the fucked up psychology.
But this was aber bothered.
But then, if I should see us recorded tonight, was someone get that from between checking the checking the fucking count.
Post and ghost. That's it. Ich had this mit was ich post.
But it's intentional, you know. We suck the heran
in nor the bad
algorithm was sure.
Nor the bad gehabt. Wenn sie mal so gebaut, weil müssen wir sich protecten.
A win is not as satisfactory as a loss is detrimental to your psyche.
Yeah. Okay, I agree with that.
Wenn die gewinnt the World Series, right? Oh, bist happy in morgen noch eins. The loss bleibt mit die gesagt länger wie
10 Jahre bis die gewinnt noch einmal. All right, brother.
Yeah.
This was a pleasure.
Just to mention, ich weiß nicht, welche du wisst, but this is a book.
Lass mich können du geben mein Ending up.
Yeah.
All right, Gavra, thank you for ausheren. Ich kann euch die von du sein.
Absolutely.
And
again.
Yeah, definitely. Ich hoffe, ich habe es enjoyed. Ich definitely. Zoekt ook het. So, until the next time. Peace.